This week is bringing some bad news for former President Trump's hold on the Republican Party. There's a problem with one of his endorsements, but we'll get to that in a minute. This from Congressman Liz Cheney from Wyoming, voted for impeaching then-President Trump over Ukraine, now sits on the January 6th committee. We found out today she's raised more than $10 million in 12 months, sits on an incredible war chest. That's bad news for the MAGA types trying to primary her in Wyoming as a message to anybody who dares cross Mr. Trump. Phil Wegmann covers the White House for Real Clear Politics, joining us now. How's Trump world reacting to the demise of Trump power?
Well, I think they believe it's very much an open question. If you talk to them, they're confident that he still is the leader of the Republican Party. They would point to the fact that everyone wants his endorsement on the right. And I think we saw a little bit of that in the Pennsylvania Senate race just today.
Yeah, no, and that was where we were headed now. Dr. Oz got the nod. He's behind in the polls to David McCormick by about 10 points. Obviously, if Dr. Oz pulls through, and Mr. Trump, who's right now on the top of the polls by double digits, multiples, for the 2024 nominee, if Oz wins, great. But there was great for Trump. But there was some real eyebrows raised, even among the true MAGA hardcores on Twitter, over this old Oz clip. Take a listen.
Make a decision to let your child live as the other sex, even alter their body.
Children like Josie may start showing signs of transgender as early as 2 or 3. This extraordinary condition is not as rare as you might think. It's estimated that 3 million Americans believe they were born the wrong sex.
The attack ads kind of write themselves, don't they?
Yeah, and I think that the clip that you just played shows why this endorsement reverberates not just in Pennsylvania, but throughout the conservative movement currently. Because not unlike Trump had to deal with in early 2015 when he was at first a candidate, there were a lot of questions as to whether or not he is sufficiently conservative. So Oz is going to experience something similar to Trump did back then, because there are going to be all of these old statements, all these old clips on questions of abortion, the Second Amendment, the LGBTQ issue, like you just showed a second ago, of why is he out of line with sort of the more normal conservative mainstream. And this is exactly the kind of drama that Republicans don't want to be having at a moment that they think that they're preparing to retake the Senate.
Yeah, you talk about the Senate, you think about drama in Alabama, huge drama in Missouri, now drama in Pennsylvania. It's not what you want when you're the minority party hoping to ride this wave. There's the poll, McCormick 24, Oz 15. So if Oz pulls this out, that makes President Trump the kingmaker. Trump rally in North Carolina over the weekend drew fewer than 2,000 people. Is there an argument that the Republican Party, while people sort of instinctively say they like President Trump, that his star power is running out?
It certainly could be. I think that one thing that we've seen from the former president is that he continues to play the greatest hits, and that's going to be something that the MAGA base loves him for. But as you move forward and look to 2024, I think what we're going to see is a lot of Republicans who might say, yeah, I'm nostalgic for the good old days. I really liked the former president. But what I want most right now is someone who can win. They might not be my preferred candidate. I might not agree with them on everything, but I want someone who's going to be able to take down Joe Biden. And I think the reason why the Senate issue is so interesting is because Chris Christie and other Republicans, if you talk to them, they are of the opinion that Trump's dealings in Alabama in 2020 with the special elections that's the reason why they
and in Georgia they think him. Yeah, in Georgia they think that's what cost him the election. Hey Phil, we could talk for a long time about this. Next time we have you back, we'll chat longer. I got a little long-winded earlier in the show. Happens.
All good.
Thanks, buddy. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.